From the Town of Melbourne Village, please welcome Mayor Rand Carroll.
I do get a lot of abuse. I used to get a lot of abuse as a school teacher. I'm a retired teacher. But anyway, Cocoa has Cocoa Village, and Melbourne has historic downtown Melbourne, but you'd be surprised how many people think Melbourne Village is historic downtown Melbourne. And by the way, earlier this year I was introduced 3 times before they did it correctly. It was at this Astronauts Memorial event in Titusville. So initially I was introduced as the mayor of Melbourne. And then that was corrected because they forgot to introduce my partner who helped me lay a wreath, and that was William Capote here from Palm Bay, the biggest city in the town, in the county. But anyway, then they corrected that to say that I was the mayor of West Melbourne. Okay. So the only one they didn't mention was Melbourne Beach. But anyway, last year at this event, I announced that we had had a 25% increase in the number of our businesses in the commercial zone area because we opened up a Dunkin' Donuts. And when you have only 4 businesses in your commercial zoned area and you go to 5, that's a 25% increase. Now this last year we had inquiries from Crystal Hamburgers, and they wanted to build adjacent to the Dunkin' Donuts. And I was telling Mayor Capote about this, and he got really excited, and he said I was going to be his favorite mayor because he loves crystals. He doesn't like traveling all the way to Titusville for those hamburgers. But somehow, even though I offered to put a permanent defibrillator between Dunkin' Donuts and the Crystal Hamburgers, they have pulled out for some reason. By the way, the Dunkin' Donuts we have was unable, for logistical reasons, to hook up with the West Melbourne sewer system. So they have a state-of-the-art septic sewer system there. I think you can probably drink the water after they're done with it. So you might want to go investigate some of the Dunkin' Donuts facility there. I'd be glad to give you a tour. Melbourne Village is the smallest town in the county. It's only about 700 people. Let me just say a little bit about the history of the town. Just so, first of all, it's located west of the Melbourne Square Mall. If you've ever been in the Target store, then you've been in Melbourne Village, okay? And in fact, I think I'm the only mayor here who can name all the businesses in the commercial zone. So not to discriminate against FedEx Express, Haverty's, Hudson's, or Dunkin' Donuts, those are the others. And just last evening, we okayed a new sign for, actually I guess you could call it a new business, although it's really supplanting a former business, because in the Target store, there's no longer a Target pharmacy, and the new sign is going to say, it's going to have a heart on it, it's going to say CVS Pharmacy, and we're going to ask them to raise it up a little bit to allow those trees to grow higher, okay, because we don't like trimming trees, or certainly not cutting them down in Melbourne Village, okay. Our motto used to be the town with trees, and now it's the town that really cares. And the next motto is going to be the town that really cares about trees. So, let me just say this, that there's a state historical marker in Melbourne Village, and I mentioned this earlier or last week rather, another breakfast with the mayors that the new Commanding General Patrick gave. And we have a barracks from the old Naval Station Banana River, it was called, which is now Patrick Air Force Base. But we have this barracks that was barged down the river and then trucked to Melbourne Village in 1948 to become our first, actually it wasn't a city then, but it was a community. It was the community house, and then thanks to some funds from the recreation district, we've been able to refurbish it. So let me give a little commercial for it. We rent it out, and it's a very reasonable rent. We have a lot of dance groups there. It has a wooden floor. You can have all kinds of receptions there. Very reasonable rates, and it's booked up a lot. So make your engagements ahead of time. let me just say this also, that the University of Melbourne began in Melbourne Village. And actually the village itself was founded by 3 women from Dayton, Ohio. And they also hired a woman who was the city planner and laid out all those winding roads in the village. Now let's see here.
Mayor, you're just about to see
Am I about to go on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, Melbourne owns you now. Yeah. I think you have a tree left.